Exhibition Park, the real life fun of harness racing.
Here they come.
An Exhibition Park.
We say hi once again, harness racing fans. Right now you're looking at the special program cover that Exhibition Park has come up with for this very special night. As you can see, this is Jim Doherty Night here at Exhibition Park, and the program reads, a special occasion honoring a native son who began his illustrious racing career at EPR, presented by his home track and its horsemen on the eve of his induction into the St. John Sports Hall of Fame. You'll see Jimmy Doherty in his green, white, and red silks in 6 races tonight, including our feature with Toe Big Power. And we have, after the 5th, very special presentations trackside for Jimmy Doherty. Hope you enjoy the show tonight. It's going to be different. Here we go with race 1. And we're all set now for the first race. 8 starters approaching the top of the stretch. There's J.B. Pendle with Sean Shannon. Lewis's Pride, Jody Hennessy. Santa Monica, Tony Haig. Peter Star, John Davidson. Ties, Taffy, Owen Davies. Super Joy with Steve Mahar. R.E.'s Colt, Brian Moore. Miramichi, Leslie, Randy Phillips. And here they come. They're off, and J.B. Pendle pacing with the lead in on the rail. Then up on the outside, now in between horses. Now up on the inside. Lewis's Pride gets to second. Santa Monica outside racing on third. Miramichi Leslie, she is a 4th. Ties Taffy racing a 5th. They go on up the backstretch racing onto the quarter, and Peter Starr pulling up. They race onto the quarter, J.B. Pendle. Lewis's Pride, then racing a 3rd. It is Santa Monica. Miramichi Leslie is 4th. As they go by the quarter in 30 and 2/5. Then it is a Ties Taffy racing a 5th. Super Joy. And trailing the field, R.V.'s Colt, and Peter Starr has pulled up. They swing around the top turn. They come by the 3/8 pole now. J.B. Pendle pacing on top. Lewis's Pride racing a 2nd. Then it is Santa Monica 3rd. Ties Taffy up on the outside. Racing on to 4th now, and out from 3rd. Here comes Santa Monica going on. Santa Monica now 2nd, lapped on the leader, bidding for the top, and they were by the half in 105. They swing into the turn, go racing now to the 5/8. J.B. Pendle, Santa Monica 2nd. Lewis's Pride is 3rd. Miramichi Leslie 4th. They're by the 5/8. Then it is a Super Joy. Ties Taffy, R.E.'s Colt. And Peter Starr pulled up with broken gear on to the 3/4. Santa Monica now on top on the outside. J.B. Pendle's on the inside, but they're neck and neck as they go by the 3/4. 35 and 4. Top turn, neck and neck for the top. On the rail, J.B. Pendle on the outside. Santa Monica. Lewis's Pride racing a 3rd. They'll tip 3 wide. Miramichi Leslie a good 4th. And Super Joy is 5th. They swing for home now, still neck and neck. Santa Monica, J.B. Pendle, Lewis's Pride charging up on the outside. A strong 2nd now. Santa Monica, Lewis's Pride coming on. It's neck and neck. Here they are at the line. Looks like Lewis's Pride, Santa Monica, Super Joy, Miramichi Leslie. And the time for the mile, 2:07 and 4. And parading now, the winner of our first race, number 2, Lewis's Pride, Bay pacing mare 4 by Adios Elmer from Miramichi Debbie. And she's owned by John Thompson of Sherwood, Prince Edward Island, trained by John Davies. Jody Hennessy driving. It's win number 4 this year for Lewis's Pride, her season's best, 2:07 and 4. And for Jody Hennessy, career win number 994. Now the result of the first race. Now official, J.B. Pendle was 6th. Lewis's Pride, your race winner, Santa Monica 2nd. Peter Starr did not finish. He pulled up with broken gear. Ties Taffy 7th. Super Joy 3rd. Sispy Babe was scratched. R.E.'s Colt was 5th. Miramichi Leslie 4th. The race times are by the quarter 30 and 2/5, at the half 105, by the three-quarter pole 135 and 4, and the time for the mile 2:07 and 4. All set now for the second race, field of 7 approaching the top of the stretch. Yankee Seals to John Davidson, Diamond Digger, Jody Hennessy, Riverview Boy, Wayne Sprague, Dainty Dive, Headley Jones, Golden Fella, Gary Vincent, Solar Max with Steve Mahar, Vic Will with Jimmy Doherty, and here they come. Clear off, and Diamond Digger grabs the top on the inside. Yankee Sealster is racing second. Golden Fella gets to third. Riverview Boy on the rail now third. Golden Fella outside is fourth. Vic Will on the outside, he is fifth. And Dainty Dive. Solar Max trailing as they race on up the backstretch now, go driving on to the quarter. And Yankee Sealster has grabbed the top, and he's up for two. Diamond Digger's racing second. Riverview Boy has a third. Golden Fella is fourth. Vic Will on the outside racing fifth. Then it's Dainty Dive. And Solar Max trails. They were by the opening quarter 30 and a fifth into the top turn. Yankee Sealster cuts it out, leads for two. Diamond Digger second for two, and Riverview Boy is third. Golden Fella's fourth. Vic Will has fifth, then Dainty Dive. Solar Max trails at bow. They swing through the stretch and come racing to the half. Out front, Yankee Sealster. Diamond Digger second. Here comes Riverview Boy. Up from the outside, bidding to second. Then it is Golden Fella, Vic Will, Dainty Dive, and the Solar Max. They were by the half. 102 and 4. Swinging into the turn, they race on to the 5/8, and the leader is Yankee Sealster. Riverview Boy on the outside, driving on the second. Diamond Digger has a third. Then it is a Golden Fella, Vic Will, Solar Max, Dainty Dive trails. On to the three-quarters, Yankee Sealster, Riverview Boy. Diamond Digger, Vic Will gets to fourth. Golden Fella's fifth. Then it's Solar Max and Dainty Dive as they go racing by the three-quarters. 134 and 2. Top turn, Yankee Sealster for two. Riverview Boy racing a second. Vic Will driving a strong third. Outside of him, Solar Max. Diamond Digger's on the rail. Golden Fella, Dainty Dive it now. They swing for home. It is Yankee Sealster. Vic Will charging up from the outside. Second comes on strong. Yankee Sealster, Vic Will, and Jim Doherty coming to the top. It is Vic Will up the line. Vic Will, Solar Max, Yankee Sealster, and Riverview Boy. And the time for the mile, 2:05 and 2. That is his first drive back home. Jim Doherty comes back a winner, this time with number 7, Vic Will. Just that pacing horse, 6 years. He's by Scarlet Skipper out of Native Playgirl. Owned by Bill Nicholson Jr. of St. John and trained by Bill Nicholson Jr. Gentleman Jim Doherty driving tonight, and the horse gets his 4th winning trip this season, steps to a win race record, 2:05 and 2. Vic Will and Jim Doherty. Now the result of the second race now official. Yankee Sealster third. Diamond Digger was 5th. Riverview Boy 4th. Dainty Dive was 7th. Golden Fella 6th. Solar Max was 2nd, and Vic Will, your race winner. Times quarter 30 and a 5th. The half 102 and 4. Three-quarters 134 and 2. At the time of the mile, 2:05 and 2. We're all set now for the third race. Field of 9 approaching the top of the stretch. We have Windcrest, Georgia with John Davidson, Rockville Tom, Tom Mason, Gaelic Neville with Charlie Price, High Fly Jody Hennessy, Brighton Lady Jim Doherty, Lucky Tarball Winston Campbell, Fen Dillon with Don Bickford, Matchless Winners Brian Moore, Count on Cincy with Tony Haig. Here they come. Clear off and from the far outside, Brighton Lady up on the inside, Windcrest, Georgia. In between horses now, Rockville Tom is 2nd. Around the turn, Windcrest, Georgia with Rockville Tom 2nd. and settles on the rail as they go by the 8th pole. Up the backstretch, it is Windcrest, Georgia, Rockville Tom. Count on since he's gone to 3rd. Brighton Lady rushing up on the outside is a 4th. Gets a hole, gets in, High Fly. Then it's Gaelic Neville, Lucky Turbo, Finn Dillon, Matchless Winners trailing the by the opening quarter. 30 seconds. Out of the top turn, Windcrest, Georgia, Alack. Rockville Tom is 2nd. Count on Cincy is 3rd. Brighton Ladies 4th. Then it's High Fly, Gaelic Neville, Lucky Turbo, Matchless Winners, Finn Dillon. Through the stretch they come, they're racing to the half. Windcrest, Georgia, the leader. Rockville Tom is 2nd. Count on Cincy racing 3rd. Out to challenge now. Moving behind her with cover. It is Brighton Lady, then High Fly, Gaelic Neville, Lucky Turbo, Matchless Winners, Finn Dillon. They were by the half and 2 and 3. Round the turn they go racing now to the 5/8. It is Windcrest, Georgia. Then back to 2nd, Rockville Tom. Count on Cincy's outside 3rd. Brighton Lady is 4th, swings out 3 wide, and rushing on behind it goes High Fly, then Lucky Turbo, Finn Dillon, Matchless Winners, and Gaelic Neville. On to the 3/4, it is still Windcrest, Georgia, by the 3/4, 33 and 3, top turn. Now Count on Cincy on the outside, gets a nose in front. Windcrest, Georgia, back on again on the inside. Windcrest, Georgia, Count on Cincy. Rockville Tom looking for room. Brighton Lady is 4th. High Fly, Lucky Turbo, Finn Dillon, Matchless Winners, Gaelic Neville heading home. Windcrest, Georgia on the outside. Count on Cincy. Rockville Tom in between them. It is Windcrest, Georgia, Count on Cincy. Here they are at the line. Windcrest, Georgia, Count on Cincy. Tight for show between Lucky Turbo and Rockville Tom. And the time for the mile, 2:06. In the photo for win, parading first number 9, Count on Cincy. Chestnut mare 6, Batarport, count from Melissa Herbert. On by Donald Kerr of St. John, trained and driven by Anthony Haig. Also in the photo, number 1, Windcrest, Georgia. Bay pacing mare, she's 7th, and she's by Precious Fella out of Windcrest Gale. She's on by John Melanson of St. John, is trained and driven by John Davidson. Time for the mile, 2:06. And we're waiting for a photo for win. Have the result of the 3rd race. Official, Windcrest, Georgia, dead hitting for 1st. Rockville Tom was 3rd. Gaelic Neville was 9th. High Fly was 7th. Brighton Lady 5th. Lucky Turbo 4th. Finn Dillon was 6th. Matchless Winners was 8th. And Count on Cincy, dead hitting for 1st. And the race times, quarter in 30 seconds, half 1:02 and 3. 3/4 1:33 and 3. Time for the mile, 2:06. All set now for the 4th race, field of 8. Time for the stretch we have Prospect Mountain with Steve Mahar. Hong Kong Shamrock, Lolly Stokes. Surpriser with Sean Dooley. Oil Sand, Steve Mason. Charlie Ho, Jody Hennessy. Quality Key with Elmore White. Glengarry Drive with Ross McDonald and Huntsdown Lady Fly. With Owen Davies, here they come. There, up in Quality Key takes the lead on the outside, but now up on the inside. Charlie Ho grabs the top, but he's the leader into the turn. Charlie Ho and up on the outside. Quality Key, Prospect Mountain on the trail is 3rd. Hong Kong Shamrock is 4th. Oil Sands outside, racing on the 5th. That is Huntsdown Lady Fly on the trail. Surpriser, Glengarry Drive trails, but moving on the outside as they race on to the quarter. Charlie Ho, the leader, a length and a half, and up quickly. Oil Sands 3rd. Winging on, Oil Sands gets to 2nd. Quarter 31 and 4, and Oil Sands takes the top as they swing into the turn. Oil Sands now a length and a half, and then Charlie Ho is 2nd. Quality Key has a 3rd. Glengarry Drive racing up 4th on the outside. Prospect Mountain has 5th, and it's Hong Kong Shamrock, Huntsdown Lady Fly. Surpriser trailing the field as they come through the stretch, and they race on to the half. Oil Sands the leader in Glengarry Drive. Up strong on the outside. They're neck and now. Glengarry Drive grabs the top and is the leader as they go by the half in 4 and 2. Glengarry Drive and Oil Sands. Charlie Ho is third. Quality Key racing fourth. Hong Kong Shamrock is fifth. Then it's Prospect Mountain, Surpriser, and Hunts Down Lady Fly trailing as they go by the 5/8 now of the run to the 3/4. The leader is Glengarry Drive. Charlie Ho now to second. Oil Sands is third. Quality Key is fourth. Hong Kong Shamrock outside fifth. Then Prospect Mountain, Surpriser, Hunts Down Lady Fly, 3/4, 1:36 and 1. Swinging into the top turn, Glengarry Drive. On the outside, Charlie Ho. Oil Sands is third. Hong Kong Shamrock is now fourth. Quality Key, Surpriser, Prospect Mountain, Hunts Down Lady Fly. Swinging for home, Glengarry Drive and Charlie Ho and Oil Sands. Up on the inside, three of them neck and neck as they come driving to the line. Oil Sands through on the inside. Here they are at the line. Oil Sands tight for second. Looks like Glengarry Drive, Charlie Ho. Prospect Mountain fourth. Time for the mile, 2:08 and 1. At the wire now, the winner of the fourth race, number 4, Oil Sands. Black pacing caught 3 by Oil Count from Rita Hart. Owned by Milton Downey of St. John, trained and driven by Steve Mason. Colt gets his first lifetime win, maiden record, 2:08 and 1. And the result of the fourth race now official. Prospect Mountain was placed third. Hong Kong Shamrock was placed sixth. Surpriser placed fourth. Oil Sands, your race winner. Charlie Ho finished third, placed seventh. Set back for interference to number 2 Hong Kong Shamrock. Quality Key was placed fifth. SF Barron scratched. Glengarry Drive was second. Hunts Down Lady Fly was eighth. Times quarter 31 and 4/5. Half 1:04 and 2. 3/4 1:36 and 1. Time for the mile 2:08 and 1. All set now for the fifth race. Field of 8, top of the stretch. This is Glengale Major with Jim Doherty. Jig Top Smarty, Gary Vincent. Snake Charmer with Steve Mahar. J.J. Sheridan with Earl Smith. Venture Gas, John Davidson. Legitimate Power, Mike Doyle. Jeff Down with Steve Mason. Blossom Blue with Charlie Ross. And here they come. They're off Glengale Major, pacing out on top and up on the outside. Venture Gas drives on, challenging a second. Jig Time Smarty is third. Blossom Blue wide, racing on the fourth. J.J. Sheridan his fifth. Then it is a Jeff Down. Snake Charmer, Legitimate Power trails. They race on up the backstretch now, drive on to the quarter. Venture Gas pacing on top. Blossom Blue has gone to second now. Glengale Major's racing a third. Then it's Jig Time Smarty. J.J. Sheridan, Jeff Down, Snake Charmer, Legitimate Power. They've revived the quarter in 29 and 2, and they spring into the top turn. Venture Gas on top, a length and a half. Blossom Blue lays second. Glengale Major is third. Here comes Jig Time Smarty. Up challenging fourth and now. They spring off the turn and through the stretch they come. They're racing to the half. It is Venture Gas and Blossom Blue, and Jig Time Smarty now comes to third. Here comes Blossom Blue out from 2. It is Venture Gas and Blossom Blue as they go racing on by the half. They were by the half in 1:01. Into the turn they go to the 5/8. Venture Gas on the inside, Blossom Blue on the outside. Jig Time Smarty racing third. Glengale Major's fourth. Jeff Down to fifth. J.J. Sheridan, Snake Charmer, and Legitimate Power starting to move from the rear of the pack. And they're neck and neck as they go battling to the 3/4. On the outside, Blossom Blue. Now Jig Time Smarty strong on the outside. He gets to second. They revive the 3/4, 1:32 and 2. Into the top turn, Blossom Blue and Jig Time Smarty. Jeff Down now third. Venture Gas is fourth. Glengale Major, J.J. Sheridan, Legitimate Power, Snake Charmer. At the head of the lane, they spring for home. It is Blossom Blue. Jig Time Smarty on the outside now comes pacing to the top. Jig Time Smarty, Blossom Blue, Jeff Down coming on. So is Legitimate Power. Here they are. Jig Time Smarty, Blossom Blue. Then looks like maybe Jeff Down over Legitimate Power. And the time for the mile, 2:04 and 2.
And now parading the unofficial winner of the 5th race, number 2 is Jig Time Smart. The Bay Pacing horse, 4 years by Winthrop Lobel out of Bond Flash. Owned by Peter Barsley of St. John, trained by Gary Vincent, and driven by Gary Vincent. The horse scores its 2nd winning trip this season. Tonight's mile in 2:04 and 2.
Jimmy's back home tonight on the eve of his induction into the new St. John Sports Hall of Fame. We've taken this opportunity to salute Jimmy Doherty, who started driving actually before he got his license. It was back to 1956 when he won a race with Mackay Direct, a horse that he bought while he was attending high school at St. Max. His first win on record came in 1959 with a trotter called Leatherwood Day that once raced in the Hambletonian. So Jimmy's first official win was in 2:17. Since then, as you can see on your program tonight, Jimmy Doherty has won over 3,200 races, over $21 million, and he is ranked among the top harness racing drivers in North America. Jimmy, real nice to see you. Good drive, I think, Will.
Yeah, well, horse is pretty good.
As you can see, folks, we've got the drivers from Exhibition Park joining us here. They'll form sort of a horseshoe around Jimmy. We also have Steve Mahar with us right now. Steve is on behalf of the St. John Horsemen's Association presenting Jimmy with a plaque. I'll read the plaque. It says, presented to Jimmy, Gentleman Jim Doherty by the St. John Harness Horsemen's Association in recognition of your many accomplishments in North America and in honor of your being the first horseman inducted into the St. John Sports Hall of Fame. It's signed by the President, Jerry Lowe, and the Secretary, Pat White. And Mr. Bill Ganderton, the president of the Exhibition Association, has a presentation of a jacket. Jimmy, New Brunswick sports teams wear blue and gold. This jacket is inscribed on one side, Home Track EPR St. John, and on the other side, St. John Sports Hall of Fame. You remember the night in 1976 when Jimmy won the Provincial Cup with Navy. That was our first mile, better than 2 minutes. Jimmy won it in 1:59 and 4. Milton Downey, chairman of the Exhibition Association's Racing Committee, is making that presentation now. We have the victory picture here inscribed, the first sub 2 minute mile, August 1976. Nero's BB, Jim Doherty. I stand corrected, August 1983. Jimmy? And Doug Harkness, the editor and publisher of Atlantic Post Calls, his issue this week, a front page picture of Jimmy Doherty. He's presenting him now with the, you call that the mat?
Well, Jimmy, we like to have your picture on the front page many times. We're very pleased with your accomplishments in harness racing, and you've done us proud in the Maritimes. This is the plate that goes on our presses, Jimmy, when we run off Atlantic Post Calls every week, and that's one you can hang in the Meadowlands, and probably give us one to Freddie Grant if you want to wire around the stable. Thank you very much. It's a privilege to have your picture on the front page.
Okay, Jimmy. Time for you to say a few words. Jimmy, back home to all your friends.
Okay. It's very nice to be home, and I'm really honored to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. And just want to thank everybody for the nice day I've had here today and tonight. And it's just nice to be home. And thanks for all the gifts and everything else.
Okay, Jimmy, thanks very much. Fellows, thanks very much. Now we get back racing horses.
And the result of the 5th race has been declared official. Number 1, Glengyle Major, 7th. Number 2, Jig Time Smarty, your race winner. 3, Snake Charmer, finished 8th. 4, J.J. Sheridan, 5th. 5, Venture Gas, 6th. 6, Legitimate Power, finished 4th. 7, Jeff Down, finished 3rd. And number 8, Blossom Blue, 2nd. Times for the mile. Quarters were in 29 and 2, half in 1:01, 3/4 1:32 and 2. The time for the mile 2:04 and 2.
All set for the 6th race. 9 starters approaching top of the stretch. Hold the line. Jody Hennessy, Dart Kelman, Tony Haig, Adio Stephen Elmore White, Kelly's Dandy John Davidson, Kira's Girl Sean Shannon, Brighton Maid Gary Vincent, Night Catcher Tom Mason, Nippy Namby Wilson Gilmore, Shake Me I Fly Steve Mahar. Here they come. They're off, and Kira's Girl wings 4, and she grabs the top. Then on the inside, Hold the Line is racing 2nd. Kelly's Dandy outside 3rd. Around the turn, it is Kira's Girl pacing on top. Hold the Line racing 2nd up on the outside. Kelly's Dandy is 3rd, and Hold the Line is out challenging 4, and it grabs the top. It is Hold the Line and Kira's Girl and Kelly's Dandy 3rd. Shake Me I Fly is racing 4th. Then going up on the outside, Brighton Maid, Adio Stephen, Night Catcher, Dart Common, Nippy Namby trailing 1:31 and 1. They're rid of the top turn, and Hold the Line shows the way. Hold the Line, and on the outside, Kelly's Dandy, Kira's Girl, Brighton Maid, Shake Me I Fly. Then a Night Catcher on the outside, Adio Stephen, Dart Common, Nippy Namby. They swing through the stretch now, and they come racing on to the half. Hold the Line is holding his lead. It's a length. Kira's Girl 2nd. Kelly's Dandy driving 3rd. Then Brighton Maiden up 3 wide. Here comes Dart Common rushing on strong. Dart Common quickly gets to 2nd, goes swinging for the top. They were by the half and 4 and 3 in the rid of the turn. Racing to the 5/8. Hold the Line and Dart Common. They're neck and neck, and Kira's Girl is 3rd. Shake Me I Fly out 4th. Kelly's Dandy spent racing 5th. Adio Stephen, Brighton Maid out 3 wide. Night Catcher, Nippy Namby going to the outside, and they go to the 3/4, and on the outside, Dart Common grabs the top. Hold the Line is racing 2nd. Shake Me I Fly. Up on the outside now to 3rd. Kira's Girl is 4th. Night Catcher racing 3 wide is 5th going on. Out of the top turn, it is a Dart Common, and now Shake Me I Fly. On the outside, Night Catcher. Hold the Line is on the rail. Kira's Girl in between horses looking for room. They hit the head of the lane, and they're patting out 3 wide, neck and neck. Now Shake Me I Fly. Dart Common, Night Catcher comes up on the outside. Shake Me I Fly and Night Catcher and Dart Common. Again, 3 of them neck and neck to the line. It is Night Catcher. Looks like Dart Common over Shake Me I Fly. Hold the Line for 4th. The time for the mile, 2:10 and 2. Now the result of the 6th race now official. Hold the Line was 4th. Dart Common dead heating for 2nd. Adio Stephen 8th. Kelly's Dandy 9th. Kira's Girl was 5th. Brighton Maid 6th. Night Catcher, your race winner. Nippy Namby was 7th, and Shake Me I Fly dead heating for 2nd. Race times, 1:31 and 1. Half 1:04 and 3. 3/4 1:36 and 4. The mile 2:10 and 2. All set now for the 7th race. We have a field of 8 approaching the top of the stretch. There's Champ Pyro with Jody Hennessy, Easy Time Gal, Steve Mahar, Dunmore Heather, Jim Doherty, Lehigh Star with Winston Campbell, Whisper Genie, Earl Smith, French Links with Ron Robertson, Party Bagman Doug Falkins, Colin Sealster, John Davidson. Here they come. They're off, and Lehigh Star wings 4 has the lead on the inside. Dunmore Heather's racing 2nd. That Easy Time Gal is 3rd on the rail. Whisper Genie's up on the outside, and she is racing 4th. Colin Sealster moves to 5th. Champ Pyro's on the rail. as they go on up the backstretch now and race to the quarter, neck and neck for the top. And Lehigh Star now on the outside. Dunmore Heather has second. Whisper Genie up on the outside grabs second, lapped on the leader. And Whisper Genie grabs the top now. Whisper Genie is the leader as she goes by the quarter, 31 seconds. Out of the top turn, Whisper Genie a length and a half. Lehigh Star second. Dunmore Heather his third. Easy Time Gal is fourth. Rushing up on the outside, it is a Party Bag Man. They come by the 3/8 pole now and swinging off the turn. Through the stretch here, they come, they're racing to the half. Whisper Genie has the top. Then Lehigh Star, and here comes Dunmore Heather. She's up to second, and she goes winging for the lead. Dunmore Heather takes the top and is the leader as they go racing by the half. By the half and 4 and 1, Dunmore Heather, Whisper Genie. Lehigh Star, Party Bagman on the outside. Easy Time Gal, Colin Sealster, Champ Fyro, and the trailer is French Lynx as they race out by the 5/8 pole now. On up the backstretch, driving to the 3/4, Dunmore Heather. On the outside, Party Bagman hangs a second. Whisper Genie's third on the rail. Champ Fyro outside fourth. Lehigh Star on the rail. That is French Lynx, Easy Time Gal, Colin Sealster. By the 3/4, 1:36 and 3. Out of the top turn, Dunmore Heather, the leader. Party Bagman hanging second. Whisper Genie's on the rail looking for room, racing a third. Then Lehigh Star comes up on the inside fourth, no room there. Champ Fyro's outside fifth, and now Lee swing for home. It is Dunmore Heather, Party Bagman coming on strong. Party Bagman now. Dunmore Heather up on the inside. Whisper Genie coming through it on the outside. Easy Time Gal. Too tight to call. Maybe Easy Time Gal. Time for the mile, 2:08 and 4. And parading now, the winner of our 7th race, number 2, Easy Time Gal. Brown pacing filly, she's 3. By Easy Come, Easy Go from Princess Hotel. On but Joe Lindsay of St. Stephen, trained and driven by Steve Mahar. The filly gets her 3rd winning trip this season and takes a new win race record, 2:08 and 4. Now the result of the 7th race now official. Champ Fyro 6th. Easy Time Gal, your race winner. Dunmore Heather was 2nd. Lehigh Star 5th. May Power scratched. Whisper Genie was 3rd. French Lynx 7th. Party Bagman was 4th, and Colin Sealster was 8th. The times, the quarter 31, the half 104 and 1, 3/4 1:36 and 3, and the mile 2:08 and 4. All set now for the 8th race, 9 starters, and they are approaching the top of the stretch. We have H.R. Iroquois with Earl Smith, times 2, Jody Hennessy, Rock and Beauty with Doug Falcon, Cedars Porter, John Davidson, P.H. Pacer and Gary Vincent, Ball McGee last with Steve Mahar, Hill Wind Rebel Colleen Clancy, 3D Dodger Wayne Sprague, Joy Down with Jim Doherty, and here they come. There, off and Rockin' Beauty grabs the top, and Cedars Porter springs out and races for it and takes it now, and times 2 goes up on the inside. H.R. Iroquois on the rail. Around the turn, it is Cedars Porter. He's out now by 3. Then times 2, racing a 2nd. H.R. Iroquois 3rd. Rocket Beauty 4th. 3D Dodger outside racing on 5th. Then it is a Joy Down as they go racing on to the quarter. Up front, Cedars Porter a length and a half. Times 2 is 2nd. Rockin' Beauty outside 3rd. 3D Dodger going out 3 wide, racing 4th. And they were by the quarter 31. Racing out of the top turn, cutting it out at Cedars Porter. Times 2 is 2nd. 3D Dodger now up to 3rd. Rockin' Beauty is 4th on the reel now. Then it is H.R. Iroquois, Joy Down, Hill Wind Rebel. They spring through the stretch, come racing to the half. Cedars Porter the leader. 3D Dodger hanging a 2nd. Times 2 on the rail 3rd. Rockin' Beauty, H.R. Iroquois, Joy Down on the move. Then Hill Wind Rebel, Ball McGee last. And P.H. Pacer is the trailer as they swing into the turn now. Racing on to the 5/8. They were by the half and 3 and 3 and racing to the 5/8 Cedars Porter. 3D Dodger parked. He's hanging a second, still going on a bit. Then on the rail, times 2 has a third. Rockin' Beauty fourth, Joy Down driving on the fifth. HR Iroquois, Hill Wind, Rebel, Paul McKee, last PH Pacer. On to the 3/4 and they're by it now in Cedars Porter. The leader 1:35 and 4. Out of the top turn, Cedars Porter, 3D Dodger. On the rail, times 2 is a third. Joy Down is a fourth. She's copped the leaders. Then Hill Wind Rebel fifth. HR Iroquois. Rockin' Beauty, Ball McGee last. PH Pacer heading home. It's a Cedars Porter, 3D Dodger. And times 2 and Joy Down up on the outside is coming on. 3D Dodger times 2. Here they are at the line. 3D Dodger times 2. Looks like Joy Down over Cedars Porter. And the time for the mile, 2:08 and 2. Parading now, the winner of our 8th race, it's number 8, 3D Dodger. A chestnut pacing gelding 9 years by Lyndon Dodger from Golden Daily H. Owned by Gilles Levesque of St. Basile. Wayne Sprague driving. The horse gets his second winning trip this season, pacing tonight, 2:08 and 2. And the result of the 8th race now official. HR Iroquois was 5th. Times 2 was 2nd. Rockin' Beauty 8th. Cedars Porter was 4th. PH Pacer 9th. Ball McGee last 7th. Hill Wind Rebel 6th. 3D Dodger, your race winner with Joy Down, was 3rd. Race times quarter 31 seconds. The half 1:03 and 3. 3/4 1:35 and 4. And the mile 2:08 and 2. We're all set now for tonight's featured 9th race. We have a field of 6, and they are approaching the top of the stretch. There's Verbatim with Jody Hennessy. Smooth Ride with Winston Campbell. Power Mac and Ron Robertson. Isle of Time with Earl Smith. Tovic Power, Jim Doherty. Who's to Bless with Steve Mahar. And here they come. Blair up and Isle of Time grabs the top, and Tovic Power up challenging a second. Verbatim up on the inside. He's racing a 3rd. Smooth Ride is a 4th. Power Max racing a 5th. Who's to Bless trails, and they race on by the 8th, and they're up the backstretch now. Isle of Time on top. Leads by 2. Tovic Power racing a 2nd. Verbatim has a 3rd. Smooth Ride is 4th. That is Power Mac and Who's to Bless trailing 6th. They race to the quarter. And Isle of Time, the leader, a length and a half now, and she was by the quarter in 30 and 3/5. Into the top turn, Isle of Time, the leader. Tovic Power racing a 2nd. Verbatim has a 3rd. Smooth Ride is 4th. Then it's Power Mac and Who's to Bless. Now they're by the 3/8 photon, swinging through the stretch, and they're racing for the half. Isle of Time, the leader. Tovic Power racing a 2nd. Here comes Power Mac up on the outside, racing on to 4th now. It is Isle of Time and Tovic Power. Verbatim and Power Mac. Smooth Ride and Who's to Bless the half and 3 and 2. They're into the turn now and racing out of the 5/8 Isle of Time. Tovic Power racing a 2nd. Power Mac driving up on the outside now, gets to 3rd. Verbatim is 4th. Who's to Bless and Smooth Ride, and up the backstretch they go. They're racing now to the 3/4. Isle of Time is up at 2. Tovic Power 2nd. Power Mac is a 3rd. Who's to Bless, Verbatim and Smooth Ride trails by the 3/4. 1:34 and 3. Top turn, Isle of Time, Tovic Power. Power Mac, Verbatim moving up on the inside. Who's to Bless and Smooth Ride. At the 7/8, it is Isle of Time and Tovic Power 2nd. Verbatim is now 3rd. Heading home, Isle of Time and Tovic Power in Verbatim. And then Power Mac. It is Isle of Time. She's holding. Here they are at the line. It's Isle of Time. Tovic Power. Verbatim, maybe Smooth Ride. And tight between Power Mac and Who's to Bless. And the time for the mile, 2:04 and 4. And parading now the winner of our 9th race, number 4, Isle of Time. Baymare form a critical time from Isle of Blue. Owned by Roland Larkin of Hunter River, Prince Edward Island. Trained and driven by Earl Smith. The mare gets her 3rd winning trip this season, pacing tonight to 4 and 4. Result of the 9th race now official. Verbatim was 3rd, Smooth Ride 4th, Power Mac was 5th, Isle of Time, your race winner, Tobic Power 2nd, Who's to Bless was 6th. Race times quarter 30 and 3/5. Half 103 and 2. 3/4 1:34 and 3. Time for the mile to 4 and 4. And we're all set now for the 10th and final. Field of 9 approaching top of the stretch. There's Glengal Sterling with Leroy Vincent, Holly Bat, Elmore White, Nick Robchamp, Sam Hodgen, Miramichi Dash with John Davidson, Sassacastor, Brian Moore, Charlotte's Tessie, Doug Falkins, Mohawk, Injun Joe with Ross McDonald, Harmony Greenwood, Steve Mahar, Isaac Character, Gary Vincent, and here they come. There, off and Miramichi Dash goes winging 4 in the lead in the outside. Glengal Sterling racing with it on the inside. She has the best of it on the outside. Miramichi Dash is racing a 2nd. And around the turn, it's Glengal Sterling, Miramichi Dash. Charlotte's Tessie goes up 3 wide, racing on 3rd. And they're 3 wide as they race to the quarter. Miramichi Dash on top. Charlotte's Tessie now 3 wide 2nd. Glengal Sterling has a 3rd. Sassacastor racing a 4th. Eyes the Character is a 5th. Then Holly Bat, they were by the quarter 30 and 2. Nick Robchamp, Mohawk, Injun Joe. Harmony Greenwood trailing the field as they race around the top turn. And the leader is Miramichi Dash. And Charlotte's Tessie in 2nd on the rail. They come off the top turn through the stretch onto the half. It is Miramichi Dash. Charlotte's Tessie, Glengal Sterling, Sassacastor is the 4th. Here comes Nick Robchamp driving up to 5th. Behind him with cover Mohawk, Injun Joe, Isaac Character, Holly Bat, Harmony Greenwood. They were 5.5 and 3 and 1. And around the turn they go, racing now to the 5/8. Miramichi Dash pacing on top. Charlotte's Tessie racing 2nd. There goes Sassacastor. Up on the outside now, 3rd going on. Sassacastor is now 2nd. That puts Charlotte's Tessie 3rd. Glengal Sterling 4th, Nick Robchamp, Mohawk, Injun Joe, Harmony Greenwood, Isaac Character, and Holly Bat. And they're by the 3/4 now. By the marker in 35 and 4, top turn, Miramichi Dash. Charlotte's Tessie on the outside, hanging a tough, racing a 3rd. It is Sassacastor. They're 5 and 7/8 now. Miramichi Dash, the leader. Sassacastor back to 2nd, coming off, facing 4 and grabs the top. It is Sassacastor. Charlotte's Tessie's coming on. It is Sassacastor, Charlotte's Tessie up the line. Sassacastor, Charlotte's Tessie, Miramichi Dash, and Nick Robchamp. The time for the mile, 2:07 and 4. And parading now, winner of the 10th race, number 5, Sassacastor. Bay pacing gelding 8th, the broadcaster from Sassafras. On for Brian Moore and John Lawson of St. John, trained and driven by Brian Moore. Horse has been claimed, though, by Morris Benson. Sassacastor getting his 5th winning trip this year, tonight to 7 and 4. And the result of the 10th race now official. Glengal Sterling 5th, Holly Bat 9th, Nick Robchamp 4th, Miramichi Dash 3rd, Sassacastor, your race winner, Charlotte's Tessie 2nd, Mohawk Injun Joe 6th, Harmony Greenwood 7th, Isaac Character 8th. Times quarter 30 and 2/5, half 103 and 1. 3/4 1:35 and 4. The mile 2:07 and 4. Well, there's our special harness racing show for tonight, Jim Doherty Night, here at Exhibition Park. And Jimmy got his night underway in fancy fashion, winning with Vic Well in his first drive and giving him a new record, 2-5-2. That little mare, Isle of Time, she's not very big, but she is mighty. She's won her last 3 here at EPR, and 3-3, 3-4, and tonight 204-4 in her last half, and 101-1, last quarter 30 and 1/5. She's a 4-year-old now. Last year paced in 2 minutes 4/5 as a 3-year-old filly. She is quite a little package of dynamite, Isle of Time. Wagering 50,000 for 07. That's the best Wednesday we've had here at EPR in 1987. Our next card will be Saturday afternoon. We feature then the $4,000 final of the Labatt Blue Crown Series. If you can't be here trackside to take it in, we'll pick us up Sunday night. Want to remind you once again, the Horseman's Banquet coming up on June 13th. Tickets $20. You can pick them up from members of the St. John Horsemen's Association. Hope you enjoyed the show tonight. On behalf of our cameraman, Ken Gormley, our VCR.
Churro Race.